It was stupid. That's what we kept saying. It was a midnight screening of some B-list slasher movie about a carnival that comes to life and consumes a small town. The CGI was bad, the acting was worse, and the jump scares were so predictable that half the theater was laughing by the end. Me, Marcus, and Sarah walked out of the Cineplex wiping tears from our eyes. Not from fear, but from laughing so hard at the finale. Marcus was doing an impression of the main villain, doing that raspy, fake voice that sounded more like he had a sore throat than a demonic possession. We were high on that specific kind of adrenaline you get at 2 a.m. when the world feels like it belongs to you. The mall connected to the theater was already closed, shutters down on every store, creating that long, echoing tunnel effect. Our footsteps slapped against the tile, way too loud. "I'm just saying," Sarah said, checking her phone. "If a clown tried to chase me with a balloon sword, I'm not running. I'm popping it." We all laughed again. It felt good. It felt safe. The city outside was quiet, that deep, heavy silence of a Tuesday night. We needed to catch the last train back to the suburbs. Marcus checked his watch. He seemed a little anxious, tapping the glass face of it. "Come on," he said, walking a little faster than usual. "The express comes in 10 minutes. If we miss it, we're stuck here until 5 a.m. He led the way to the subway entrance across the street. Usually there's a guy in the booth near the turnstiles. Tonight, it was empty. Not just empty, but dark. The little light inside the glass box was off. "Free ride," Marcus joked, hopping the turnstile. I hesitated. It felt disrespectful, or maybe just unlucky. But Sarah was already through, so I followed. The air instantly changed as we descended the escalator. You know that subway smell? Stale air, ozone, and old grease. It wasn't there. The air smelled like grease paint. The escalator was off, so we walked down the metal steps, the sound of our boots clanging rhythmically. It sounded like a countdown. We reached the platform and it was deserted. Not a single soul. Just the hum of the fluorescent lights overhead, buzzing like angry insects. The digital sign that usually displays the arrival times was glitching. Instead of next train, 2 minutes, it just displayed a solid block of red pixels. Then it flickered off, then back to red. "Creepy," Sarah whispered. She wasn't laughing anymore. Marcus was still trying to keep the vibe up, but he was pacing near the edge of the platform, looking into the dark tunnel. "It's just maintenance hours," he said. "Train will be here." I looked at the advertisement posters on the wall. They were all for the movie we just saw. Every single one. A row of 10 posters, identical, showing that painted smiling face. I could have sworn there were ads for insurance and dental work there last week. "Hey guys," I said, pointing at the posters. "Does that seem weird to you?" Marcus looked, then shrugged. "Marketing budget," he muttered. But he didn't look convinced. The silence of the station was pressing against my ears. It was too quiet. No distant rumble of trains. No city noise filtering down. Just the buzz. And then we heard it. A giggle. It wasn't a scary laugh. It didn't sound like a monster. It sounded like a child. A quick, high-pitched giggle echoing from the far end of the platform, where the lights were burnt out. We all froze. "Is there a kid down here?" Sarah asked, her voice trembling slightly. "Hello?" I called out. My voice boomed in the empty space, bouncing off the tiles. No answer, just the buzz of the lights. Then the sound of shoes scuffling on concrete. Scuff, scuff, scuff. "Probably a homeless guy," Marcus whispered to me, but I saw him reach into his pocket. We stared into the dark end of the tunnel. Slowly, a shape detached itself from the shadows. It was small, colorful. As it stepped into the pool of light from the last working bulb, my stomach dropped. It was a clown, not a monster, Not a demon, just a person in a cheap, baggy suit with red and yellow polka dots. The mask was plastic, the kind you buy at a dollar store, with a frozen, painted smile. It didn't move. It just stood there about 50 feet away, staring at us. "Okay, very funny," Sarah yelled, her voice cracking. "Viral prank, right? Where's the camera?" She looked around for a hidden lens. The clown didn't answer. It just took one step forward. Then, from the stairs behind us, the way we came in, we heard heavy footsteps. I spun around. 2 more figures were descending the escalator. These ones were bigger. They wore tattered suits and oversized shoes. They weren't holding balloons. One of them was dragging a metal pipe against the railing. Cling, cling, cling. "Marcus," I said, backing up toward the tracks. "We need to go." Marcus didn't move. He was staring at the clown in front of us. "Yeah," he said softly. "We need to go." The clown at the end of the platform started to run. It wasn't a funny, exaggerated run. It was a dead sprint, silent and fast. "Run!" I screamed. We bolted down the platform, away from the stairs, towards the darker end of the station. The footsteps behind us picked up speed. The metal pipe scrapped against the floor, creating sparks. We were trapped. The only way out was blocked by the 2 big ones, and the fast one was closing in. Suddenly, a roar filled the station. A wind whipped past us, blowing trash and dust into our faces. Lights blinded us. The train, it screeched into the station, defying the glitching signs. It was an old model, silver and rusted. The doors hissed open right in front of us. "Get in!" Sarah screamed. We dove into the car, stumbling over each other. I scrambled up and mashed the close doors button. The clown in the polka dots slammed against the glass just as the doors sealed shut. He didn't bang on it. He just pressed his face against the window, the plastic mask smearing against the glass. The train lurched forward, leaving the platform behind. We were panting, sweating, hearts hammering against our ribs. What the hell was that? Sarah was crying now, hyperventilating. Who were they? I looked at Marcus. He was sitting on one of the orange seats, staring at his hands. He wasn't panting. He wasn't crying. "Marcus," I asked, "you okay?" The train entered the tunnel and the lights inside the car flickered. Then they went out completely. We were plunged into total darkness. "The power," Sarah whimpered. "Why did the power go out?" We sat there in the dark, the sound of the wheels screeching against the tracks the only noise. Then the train slowed down. It wasn't a station stop. It was just stopping in the middle of the tunnel. The silence returned, and then from the next car over, the connecting door handle rattled. Click, click, click. Someone was on the train with us. I fumbled for my phone, turning on the flashlight. The beam cut through the darkness, illuminating dust motes dancing in the stale air. I pointed it at the connecting door. Through the small window, I saw a face, a white painted face. "They're on the train," I whispered, the terror making my voice sound like a stranger's. Sarah screamed as the glass of the connecting door shattered. A gloved hand reached through, unlocking the latch. We backed away to the far end of the car, but there was nowhere to go. The door swung open. 3 clowns stepped in. The one with the metal pipe was leading. "Stay back," I yelled, looking around for a weapon. I grabbed a fire extinguisher from the wall. "I swear to God, stay back." The clowns stopped. They didn't attack. They just stood in a line, blocking the aisle. And then, the strangest thing happened. They started to clap. Slow, rhythmic applause. Clap, clap, clap. I was confused. My adrenaline was spiking, ready to fight, but this didn't make sense. I looked at Sarah. She was terrified. I looked at Marcus. Marcus stood up. He walked past me toward the clowns. "Marcus, what are you doing?" I grabbed his arm, but he shook me off. He walked right up to the clown with the pipe and patted him on the shoulder. "Good timing on the pipe," Marcus said. His voice was calm, normal. The clown with the pipe reached up and pulled off his mask. It was a guy I didn't recognize, maybe 20 years old, sweating and grinning. "Dude, when you guys started running, I thought I was gonna trip on these shoes," the guy said. Marcus laughed. He turned around to face us, a wide, excited grin on his face. "Got you," he said. "I got you guys so bad." Sarah lowered her hands, her face going from terror to confusion, and then to pure rage. "What?" she whispered. "It's for the channel," Marcus said, gesturing to the clown in the back who was holding a small GoPro that I hadn't noticed before. "The killer clown prank. Come on, your reactions were gold. The running, the screaming. I've been planning this for weeks." He was beaming, waiting for us to laugh, waiting for us to appreciate the genius of it. I lowered the fire extinguisher, my heart still racing, my knees shaking. "Who planned this?" I asked. "You terrified us for a video." Marcus rolled his eyes. "Relax, it's just a prank. Nobody got hurt." He turned back to his hired actors. "All right, guys, let's get the outro shot." I looked at Sarah. She wasn't laughing. I wasn't laughing. We watched Marcus high-five the clown with the pipe. But then I noticed something. The third clown, the small one in the polka dots from the platform, hadn't taken off his mask. He hadn't clapped. He was standing slightly behind the others. Marcus didn't seem to notice him. "Hey, Benny, take the mask off. It's hot in here," Marcus said to him. The small clown didn't move. "Benny?" Marcus asked, stepping closer. The small clown raised his hand. He wasn't holding a prop. He was holding a jagged, rusty knife. "Who is Benny?" the clown whispered. And this time, it wasn't Marcus's voice.